The crypto community has been thrown into a whirlwind lately as one rumor in particular continues to dominate conversations across forums, social platforms, and even mainstream media reports. Everywhere you look, people are asking the same question: is Binance quietly preparing to list the Pi Network's coin? It's the kind of rumor that doesn't just spark casual curiosity, it triggers intense debates, waves of excitement, and a fair amount of skepticism among investors who have been following Pi's long journey from the very beginning. The idea of Pi appearing on Binance isn't some small upgrade, it would represent one of the most dramatic turning points in the project's entire history. Binance has earned a reputation for being exceptionally selective with the assets it chooses to list. Coins that make it onto the exchange typically have strong fundamentals, real utility, and an extremely active community behind them. For Pi, a project that has built a massive following yet operated within a closed ecosystem for years, being listed would mark its first real step into the global trading arena. Millions of Pi users, called pioneers, have been steadily mining and collecting Pi tokens from their phones since the project first launched, waiting for the day when their holdings could be exchanged beyond the Pi ecosystem. For many of them, a Binance listing would be the first chance to convert the Pi they've mined into other cryptocurrencies or even traditional currency. That possibility alone has stirred enormous anticipation. But as of now, nothing is officially confirmed. Neither Binance nor the Pi core team has made any public announcement. Instead, what we have is a growing storm of speculation fed by on-chain observations, curious wallet activities, and the community analyzing every tiny clue. Some observers claim certain wallet movements resemble exchange-related testing. Others point to subtle hints in Binance's announcements and technical updates. With no formal confirmation, everyone is trying to piece together what's real and what's just wishful thinking. The two names at the center of this discussion, Binance and Pi Network, represent two completely different approaches to the crypto world, yet their potential intersection could reshape the industry in ways we haven't seen before. Binance is widely viewed as the Amazon of crypto, a massive, fast-moving ecosystem built since 2017 by its well-known founder, Changpeng Zhao, also known as CZ. What started as a simple exchange quickly grew into the biggest digital asset marketplace on the planet. Binance's reach includes futures trading, staking, lending, and even its own blockchain, the Binance Smart Chain. It provides liquidity and visibility that most crypto projects can only dream of, and a listing on Binance often pushes a coin into mainstream awareness almost overnight. Pi Network, however, grew along a completely different path. Instead of targeting traders, the project focused on everyday people. By allowing users to mine Pi directly from a mobile phone without complicated equipment, Pi built one of the largest communities in crypto history, tens of millions of users around the world who have been mining Pi through simple participation. But despite its enormous user base, Pi has existed in a closed environment where users could mine and transfer Pi only within the network itself. Without external exchange listings, no true market price could be established. This mystery only made the community more eager, wondering when Pi would finally enter the broader crypto universe. Everything changed when the Pi team announced the long-awaited Open Mainnet launch scheduled for February 2025. Once Open Mainnet goes live, Pi will be able to interact with other blockchains and exchanges, opening the door to true global trading. This announcement alone caused a wave of speculation, and naturally, people began to wonder whether Binance would be among the first major exchanges to support the coin. The rumors reached a new level when on-chain analysts noticed a pattern of test transactions coming from Binance-linked wallets on the Stellar blockchain. Since Pi Network's technology has certain connections to Stellar's architecture, these small but noticeable transactions caught the attention of the community immediately. Fans and analysts started connecting the dots, proposing that Binance might be preparing its back-end systems for Pi's potential listing. At the same time, the Pi core team teased a major announcement scheduled for May 14, 2025, which only intensified the speculation. Social media exploded with theories. Influencers dissected every clue, and pioneers across the world began watching closely, wondering if this was the moment they had been waiting for. Nothing about this situation is confirmed, and it's possible the rumors could simply be misunderstandings. But the convergence of technical hints, timing, and community excitement has created an atmosphere where anything feels possible. As that anticipated May announcement approaches, expectations are higher than ever, and millions of Pi users are hoping to finally see the breakthrough they've been waiting years for. Pi Network's growth is nearly unmatched. With over 60 million users and millions already completing KYC and migrating to Mainnet, the project has shown exceptional commitment from its community. Even before open trading, Pi-related IOUs on some small exchanges saw wild price movements, at one point reaching highs around $3 before falling back to lower levels. These fluctuations revealed how much pent-up interest exists. In late 2023, more than 2 million Pi tokens were moved to wallets believed to be associated with exchanges in a single day, a level of activity rarely seen in pre-mainnet projects. For Binance, which values community strength and real engagement, these numbers certainly make Pi stand out. However, there are challenges. Pi still faces questions about liquidity, utility, and long-term sustainability. Without deep liquidity pools, early trading could be extremely volatile. Critics have raised concerns about Pi's token economics and referral-based growth model. Regulatory compliance is another obstacle, especially in a world where crypto projects are under increasing scrutiny. Binance, known for its strict vetting process, will examine every technical, legal, and economic detail before deciding whether to list Pi. A listing isn't just about popularity, it's about safety, transparency, and proven utility. The community also sits on an emotional roller coaster. Each new rumor boosts Pi's unofficial market price and raises morale, while silence or delays can cause dips in frustration. For pioneers who've spent years mining the token, a Binance listing would feel like long-awaited recognition. But constant hype also raises expectations to dangerous levels, making the eventual outcome, to list or not to list, carry even more weight. If Pi does get listed on Binance, the results would be immediate and dramatic. Liquidity would open the door for real price discovery. Pi pioneers could finally convert a portion of their holdings into other assets. Developers and investors would likely flock to the ecosystem, now validated by the world's most influential exchange. But this opportunity comes with risks. The sudden transition from a closed network to a fully open market could trigger massive sell-offs, sharp price swings, and intense scrutiny from regulators and critics. Managing the release of Pi into the global market will be one of the biggest challenges the team has ever faced. For now, the world is watching closely. The next steps for both Pi and Binance will determine whether this potential partnership becomes reality or remains a topic for debate. Pi needs to demonstrate real utility and value through its apps, ecosystem growth, and Open Mainnet progress. Binance will continue analyzing the project to ensure it meets its standards. Everything now depends on execution. As the coming months unfold, we'll learn whether Pi Network is ready to make its long-awaited entrance onto the world stage or whether the crypto world will have to keep waiting.